Have you ever bought something because you thought it's only going up, it can't lose? Yeah, that's how every speculative story begins. And when the music stops, it's usually the speculators left holding the bag. Today, we're going to settle one of the biggest confusions in all of personal finance: the difference between investing and speculating. Most people, even smart people, use these words interchangeably, but one builds lasting wealth and the other quietly destroys it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which side you're on and how to make sure your money's working for you and not against you. Let's fix that once and for all. Hello fellow compounders, I'm Chen, CFA charter holder, former hedge fund manager, and chief compounder at the Always Be Compounding Club. Here we talk about building wealth that lasts, not chasing hype or trying to time the market, but compounding intelligently over time. And as always, a quick disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial, investment, or tax advice. All tickers and examples are hypothetical and for illustration only. I'm sharing general information and examples, not recommendations tailored to you. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Your situation is unique. Always do your own research and consult a qualified financial professional before making any decisions. Now, let's start with the question that confuses millions of investors. Part 1. What's the real difference? So, what's the real difference between investing and speculating? Investing means you're buying an asset that produces income or grows in value because it creates real value for others. You're putting your money to work, owning something productive. Speculation, on the other hand, is buying something simply because you think the price will go up. No income, no production, just a bet on what others might pay for it tomorrow. Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing, summed it up perfectly. An investment operation is one which, upon thorough analysis, promises safety of principal and an adequate returns. Operations not meeting these requirements are speculative. Translation: if your profit depends entirely on finding someone willing to pay more than you did, you're not investing, you're speculating. Think of it like this: investing creates wealth. Speculation just transfers it. Now let's make that real with a few simple examples. Example 1, the house versus the land. Let's start with real estate, because everyone gets this one instinctively. If you buy a rental house and that house pays you rent every month, that's investing. You're earning income while the property itself may appreciate. Even if the prices go flat for a few years, your tenants are still paying you rent. Your investment is working while you sleep. Now compare that to buying a vacant piece of land just to wait and see. No rent, no crops, no cash flow, just hope. You're crossing your fingers that someone someday pays you more. That's speculation. See the pattern? One generates value, the other waits for luck. But what happens when the asset doesn't even exist in physical form? Let's talk about the most popular modern example. Example 2. Bitcoin and crypto. Crypto has made overnight millionaires and wiped out just as many. So, is it investing or speculating? Let's be clear. Bitcoin doesn't produce earnings. It doesn't pay dividends. It doesn't own factories or patents. Its entire value comes from what someone else is willing to pay for it. That doesn't make it bad. It just makes it speculative. You're betting on sentiment, adoption, and scarcity, not on productive output. Now, if you hold a small amount of Bitcoin as a hedge or moonshot, fine. But let's call it what it is: a speculative bet, a satellite, not a core holding. Investors build wealth through assets that generate value. Speculators bet on assets that fluctuate in price. And that brings us to another timeless store of value that gets misunderstood just as often. Example number 3, gold. Gold has been money for 5,000 years, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It doesn't grow, it doesn't pay, it doesn't compound. Gold can preserve wealth, but it can't create wealth. Think of it as financial insurance. Great protection, terrible for growth. When you see it that way, gold has its place, just not in your compounding engine. Speaking of shiny objects, let's look at what happens when hype replaces analysis. Example number 4, meme stocks and hot tips. We've all heard this one. Hey, my friend has made a killing in Nvidia. You've got to get in before it's too late. That's not investing. That's FOMO. FOMO in action, fear of missing out. When you buy something because it's popular, not because you understand the business, you're gambling. Real investors ask, what does the company earn? Does it have a durable advantage? Can it compound profits over time? Speculators ask, what's the stock doing today? Who's talking about it on Reddit? Can I flip it before it drops? One group builds wealth quietly and the other rides emotional roller coasters, and often ends up handing their profits to the patient investors. Now, some people take this one step further and call it a career. Example number 5. Day trading and options. Day trading looks like investing because you're buying stocks, but in reality, it's just speculation in a suit. You're not owning businesses, you're betting on blips. And here's the brutal truth. The data says that most active traders lose money. The Dalbar studies show that the average equity investor underperforms the market by 3 to 4% per year, mostly because of bad timing and emotional reactions. Warren Buffett said it best. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the active to the patient. In other words, the less you do, the more money you keep. If you want to build wealth, stop trying to outguess the market and start owning parts of it. Now, not all speculation happens on Wall Street. Some of it happens right inside our closets. Example number 6. Collectibles and alternative assets. Sneakers, watches, art, trading cards. Fun, exciting, and highly speculative. These don't generate cash flow. They rely on fashion and timing. When the hype fades, so does the price. Could you make money? Sure. But could you also get stuck with an expensive reminder of somebody else's trend? Again, nothing wrong with collecting. Just don't confuse a hobby with an investment. So let's make all this crystal clear. Recap: the investing versus speculating table. Here's the shortcut rule. If it pays you while you own it, it's investing. If you're just hoping someone else pays more for it, it's speculation. Now let's bring it home with the Always Be Compounding philosophy. Part 2, the Always Be Compounding philosophy. At the Always Be Compounding Club, we focus on assets that work for you while you sleep. Businesses that earn profits, pay dividends, reinvest intelligently, and grow stronger over time. That's compounding. Your money generating more money quietly and predictably. Speculation, on the other hand, is like running on a treadmill. Lots of movement, no progress. Investing is like planting an orchard. It starts slow, but one day it feeds you for life. You just need to stay consistent, stay patient, and never interrupt compounding unnecessarily. That's the secret that the greats have always known, and it's one that you can apply starting today. If you'd like to learn how to build a portfolio that compounds quietly without chasing hype or taking speculative bets, join me for a Coffee with the Chief Compounder session inside the Always Be Compounding Club. Your first coffee is on me. Just use the promo code ONEFREECOFFEE when you sign up. We'll talk about real frameworks, real strategies, and real wealth building that stands the test of time. Conclusion. So remember, if it produces cash flow or long-term growth, it's investing. If you're just hoping it goes up, it's speculation. The secret to building wealth isn't guessing right. It's to always be compounding. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.